Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this online session of Tadvidya Sambhasha Parishad. I'm Dr. Usha Rani Sanu, and today I'm discussing on the physiological concept of Asti Dhatu. Yeah, so we have already seen Rasa Dhatu, Rakta Dhatu, then from Rakta there is Mamsa Dhatu, then there is Meda Dhatu, and next the fifth Dhatu is the Asti Dhatu. Yes, so Asti Dhatu is one among the toughest and the strongest dhatu produced in the body. Okay, this is the fifth most dhatu, and the synonyms of these dhatus are Kikasa, Kulya, Medhoja, Medhoteja, Sara, Karkara are some of the synonyms. Okay, now, when you go to the Moolasthana of Asti Dhatu, you come across the concept of Asti Dhatu Strotas, which says Astivahanam Strotasam Medho Moolam Jaganam Cha. Okay, so it clearly says that the Meda, okay, the lipid or the adipose tissue of the body, along with the flat bones, that is the Jagana Pradesha, okay, especially the iliac bones, are the main sites of the Astivaha Strotas. Okay, now when we see the Asti Dhatu in the form of Kala, okay, it has very close relationship with the Purishadhara Kala, which is the fifth Kala. Okay, why is this so? This is because the Purishadhara Kala maintains the Vata. Okay, and this Vata is again Ashraya in the Asti. Okay, when we see the Ashraya and Ashrayi concept, we see that the Vata is taking Ashraya in the Asti. So Purishadhara Kala is somewhere related to the functionings of Asti also. That is what is the relationship. Coming to the Panchabhautika constitution of Asti Dhatu, though it is made up of all the Panch Mahabhutas, but there is predominance of Prithvi and Anila. That is Prithvi Mahabhuta and Anila Mahabhuta, that is Vayu Mahabhuta, dominance is seen in case of the Asti. Now coming to the qualities of Asti Dhatu, it is said as Kharatva, okay? Kharatva and dryness, Ruksha, and hard, Kathinata are the main qualities of the Asti. Charaka in Chikitsa Sana chapter 15 quotes, अनिलादीनां संगातं श्लेष्मा कृतः खरत्वं प्रकरोति अस्य जायते अस्ति तथो नृणाम्. Okay, due to dominance of Prithvi Mahabhuta, okay, and Kharatva and Rukshata produced by the Vayu Mahabhuta, okay, on the Asti Amsha produced from the Medas, okay, the Asti Mahabhuta is formed, the Asti Dhatu is formed, okay, and this is dominant in Kharatva Guna and Ruksha Guna, and the Prithvi Tattva, that is the Kathinata Guna, is dominant in case of Asti Mahabhuta. Okay, now there are 5 types of bones explained in the classics, namely the Nalakasti, then Kapalasti, Mandalakarasti, Rochakasti, Tarunasti. What is this Nalakasti? Nalakasti are nothing but the long bones. Okay, Kapalasti are the flat bones present in the body. Mandalakarasti are the vertebrae, the small rounded bones present in the body. Rochakasti are the teeth. Okay, and Tarunasti are the cartilages. Okay. Now coming to the formation and metabolism of the Asti Dhatu. Now we have already seen the Meda Dhatu Agni acts over the Medas, and this leads to production of the Prasada Bhaga and the Kitta Bhaga. The Prasada Bhaga further divides into Sthayi Dhatu and Asthayi Dhatu. The Asthayi Dhatu, which is having the Asti Amsha, moves towards the Asti Vahasruto Mula, where it is acted over by the Asti Dhatu Agni, and here there is production of the Asti Dhatu. This Asti Dhatu further has two parts, that is Prasada Bhaga and Kitta Bhaga. Okay, here the Prasada Bhaga divides itself into Sthayi Dhatu and Asthayi Dhatu. The Sthayi Dhatu is again having the structural function, it deposits in the skeletal tissues in the form of bones, and asthayi dhatu gets again circulating in the body. And the main function of this asthayi dhatu will be one of the amsha which is having majja producing amsha will move towards the production of majja, and the other portion will go to the upadhatu production, and the other portion will go to the upadhatu production and the next dhatu production. Now fine, Charaka doesn't explain anything about upadhatu of asti dhatu, but Sharangadhara says danta as a upadhatu of asti. Okay. Then what about the kitta? The kitta is said to be as kesha lomaha. Okay. Kesha and loma are considered to be as the mala part of the asti dhatu. Fine. This is how the metabolism of asti dhatu takes place. Now for the overall metabolism, it requires 20 days according to Sushruta Samhita. Okay. Now what is the function of this asti dhatu? The main function of this asti dhatu is dharanam shreshta karmaha. Dharanam is giving a support to the body itself is the main function. Abhyantara gato saro तथा तिष्ठति भूरुहा अस्ति सारो तथा देहो ध्रियन्ते देहिनाम ध्रुवम. Means it gives support to all the organs and soft tissues of the body, and hence gives dharana functions to the body. Okay. Then another function is astinim deha dharanam majja pushtim cha. This is said by Sushruta Samhita. Sushruta says asti dhatu is responsible not only for the deha dharana but also responsible for the majja pushtim cha. And what are the upadhatus? As I told you, Sharangadhara says danta, that is the teeth, as the upadhatu of the asti. And what is the mala? Charaka Samhita quotes kesha and loma. Loma is the small hairs present on the skin as the upadhatu of as the mala of the asti. And Sushruta says along with the kesha loma, nakha as the mala of asti. Okay. Now coming to the pathophysiology. What happens whenever there is asti vriddhi or asti kshaya? Okay. Now asti vriddhi, the quotation goes like this: Asnyam adhasti adidantasya. That means whenever there is asti vriddhi lakshanas, there are adi asti or adidantasya seen. That means whenever the asti dhatvagni is functioning more, there is extra growth in the bones occurring, which causes disturbance in the functioning of the particular particular leg or particular organ, particular functionings gets disturbed. For example, there is calcanean region in your foot. Fine. Usually we have patients of calcanean spur where there is extra development of a horny like bony structure developed, which causes disturbance in walking. Okay, this is adhyasti developed by excessive development of bony region there. Now this may be because of the osteophysites which have developed there, because of a degeneration also such type of thorny projections will be seen. Okay, so and adidantasya, extra eruption of tooth is also seen in case of adhyasti adidantasya. It may require even surgical procedure sometimes, or sometimes it may get adapted to the environment. But if it is causing really a disturbance, it may require surgical procedures. Then coming to the next one, that is the astikshaya. Astikshaye asti shulam dantanaka bhango roksha cha. This means whenever there is astikshaya, there is pain in the joints. Okay. And there is dantanaka bhanga, there is easily cracking of the nails which leads to fall of nails. Then there is easily cracking in the danta, and danta starts falling. Okay, the tooth starts falling, and tooth problems may be seen. And rukshata in the tooth, in the nails, such symptoms will be seen in case of astikshaya. This is told by Sushruta Samhita. Whereas Charaka in Sutrasthana 17/67 quotes Keshaloma Nakasmashru Dvajopatanam Shramaha Gneyam Asti Kshaye Rupam Sandhi Shaitilya Mevacha. Okay, that means he says whenever there is Vata Prokopakara Ahara Vihara taken, it leads to Asti Dhatu Poshana Kshaya takes place, because of which Asti Kshaya occurs. So what should be done here? Here, the symptoms seen are Keshapatana, there is usually heavy hair fall with the Loma Patana, and Nakha, Smashru, Nakha and other hairy follicles starts falling down, and Shramaha, the person feels easily physical fatigue is seen, and Sandhi Shaitilya, okay, debility of the joints, okay, osteoarthritis and such type of problems will be seen in case of Astikshaya. And in Astikshaya, you usually plan for bastis and Shamana Aushadis like Gugulu, Yograja Gugulu, Asti Poshaka Batis can be given, which will lead to the nourishment of the Asti. Okay, and here even Gugulu Kalpanas can be given as a Vatahara, but Abhyanga and Svedana will be more useful to reduce the Vata, to reduce the pain, and later Poshanas can be planned. Okay. Now, how do you compare the Asti to the modern aspect? Asti can be correlated to the skeletal tissue. Okay, what is the skeletal tissue? The skeletal tissue is nothing but another connective tissue, and this is made up of mainly a bony matrix. The bony matrix is nothing but there are many minerals deposited in these cells, okay, and these cells are forming a Haversian system. Now, there are two types of bones. There are spongy bones and there are compact bones. Fine. Now, in compact bones mainly there is deposition of the mineral salts of the bones. Okay, what are the mineral salts present? Especially the calcium phosphate, then there is calcium carbonate, then there is magnesium hydroxide, fluorides, and the various salts are deposited in the framework of the collagenous fibers. Okay, now what are the different types of cells present in this bony tissue? First of all, there is something called as osteogenic cells. What are osteogenic cells? These are forming the osteoblasts. What are these osteoblasts? Osteoblasts are the mature, are in the stage of maturing, but they are within the bony formation. They are responsible for the bony formation. Then what are osteocytes? Osteocytes are the mature cells which leads to the structural formation of the bone, or they are also called as the principal bone cells. Then there is osteoclasts. Osteoclasts are the cells which are responsible for maintaining the shape and lead to degradation of the bone so that the shape is maintained. That is osteoclasts. Okay, so these are the four types of cells. I repeat: osteogenic cells, osteoblasts, osteocytes, and osteoclasts. Okay, so these are the four types of cells present in the bony tissue. Now coming to the compact bone. The compact bone this is the bony tissue present in the diaphysic end of the bones. Okay, mainly to give protection to the longer bones. Okay, now what is this made up of? This is having a central canal called as Haversian canal, and there is concentric laminae formed which are present around the central canal. Okay, and these are in the form of ring-like structures, and they are very hard intracellular substance which are in a ring-like structure. Lacunae, the spaces between the laminae are called as lacunae, which contains osteocytes. As I told you, these are the principal bony cells which are responsible for the bone formation. And there are canaliculi which are responsible for communicating between the two main central canals so that they provide nourishment. Whatever waste is there can be removed. Okay. Then totally the central canal, the concentric laminae, the lacuna and the canaliculi form the Haversian system. Fine. Then Olpmann's canals, these are nothing but these are the small openings from where the blood vessels and the nerves enter into the compact bone. Now what is a spongy bone? Spongy bone, this consists of larger spaces and this is mainly made up of red bone marrow and a little bit of bony cells, that is the osteocytes. These are the flat, okay, flat bones present at the epiphyseal ends, and these are usually soft. Okay, so what is the overall function of the skeletal tissue? Giving support to the body, it provides a framework, it gives a protection to the soft organs like lungs, okay, brain and heart. All these are protected, and the main function again is production of RBCs, that is the red blood cells. Okay, what are the disorders usually seen? Fracture is by accidents, that is and rickets is because of vitamin D deficiency, where there are spongy bones seen. Osteoporosis, okay, due to weak and lack of calcium, there is osteoporosis. Osteomyelitis, where there may be infection seen and pus production seen in the bony tissue, which leads to pus discharge. So these are some of the modern correlations seen in case of Asti Dhatu. Okay, so with this session, with this few points, I end this class. Thank you.